Hello and welcome everyone to Teslanomics Live. I'm your host Ben Sullins, and this is the show where we break down the latest Tesla news. And we do it live because, as you know, things change so rapidly with the world of Tesla and Elon Musk, and there is a lot to cover today. We're going to go through several stories here. I've cooked up some good data to help bring some logic and some analysis to the discussions and the news topics from the weeks that has passed. And then later in the week, we'll post each individual story as a highlight. That way, in case you miss any of them, you can't hang for the whole session today. No big deal. We'll catch you later in the week as well. And then usually on Friday, we post another fun kind of video out and about with a car or something. So thank you to everyone that is joining me that is new here. We will get to the questions towards the end. There are a lot, and if you are on Crowdcast, please go vote for those questions now. Okay, well, okay. This is going to be a tough one because there's some real inflammatory stuff happening in the news lately, and I think we just have to jump right into it. The story came out recently that from Maureen Callahan in the New York Post that Elon Musk is not a fraud. That Elon Musk is a total fraud. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Elon Musk is not a fraud. And so I'm going to go through her article here, and we're going to talk about that bit by bit. And then I'll just kind of break down what exactly, why she was wrong, why this is complete fake news, and why it really frustrates me and folks like me so deeply. So first off, she says, one disastrous tweet has finally revealed Elon Musk for what he is, a fraud. So she was extremely offended about the tweet where he called the British cave diver a pedophile, which was seemingly an unfair insult on him. Kind of an offhand comment. Maybe he was having a bad day. The guy, never apologized to Elon for what he said to him, but Elon has since apologized about this. So we'll just get, that actual issue there seemed to be what sparked this woman's sensitivity, emotions, whatever you want to call this, that sparked this kind of fake news piece that you see on the New York Post here, which is kind of surprising. So point by point, she says, he has yet to succeed at anything, but somehow spins every failure into proof of eminent success. Yes, Elon Musk, the man who has never succeeded at anything. That's what we all think of him. And then she follows up with, Tesla is best known for blowing deadlines and consistently falling short on production. Meanwhile, I have two beautiful cars in my garage, which I drive every day and are probably the most fantastic cars ever made. There's also that. Plus the, thousands and thousands of other people getting their cars every single week now. Yeah, I don't know, but let's keep going here. Tesla was founded in 2003, but the world's largest automakers quickly surpassed Musk's visions for electric vehicles. Tesla will never catch up. Shareholders are finally catching on. I don't even know what the hell she's talking about with this. But the world's largest automakers quickly surpassed Musk's visions for electric vehicles. No one is even close to Tesla in electric vehicles. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. The Chevy Bolt is probably the most legit competitor, or I would say viable electric vehicle in the space. And it's not selling great, and GM doesn't give a crap, apparently. What is she talking about? This is ridiculous. So she goes on to talk about and cite several things, and this is where we're going to get kind of into some of the facts behind this fake news piece that she put out. She says that in May, the NTSB, the National Traffic Safety Board, announced an investigation after two teenagers were killed in a Tesla Model S after its battery caught fire following a crash. So, yes, that is true. Two teenagers were killed in a Tesla Model S after the battery caught fire. But we actually don't know if it was the battery caught fire or if it was them hitting a brick wall at 116 miles per hour. Either one of those things could have potentially killed them. Usually when you hit a brick wall at 116 miles per hour, things aren't going to go well for you. Just how it goes. And not to make light of this tragedy. I'm a father. I couldn't imagine how these parents felt by this. But just to get the facts straight, instead of this fake news bullshit that she's thrown out there. Federal investigators released their findings Tuesday on the fatal car crash in Fort Lauderdale last month. The Tesla carrying 3 teenagers was traveling at 116 miles per hour just seconds before impact, according to the National Transportation Safety Board. That is the investigation. So the results of the investigation show that these kids were joyriding or drag racing, whatever the case may be, but they got into a severe accident at over 100 miles per hour. Yeah, and then it caught fire. Imagine what would happen if you were in a gas car. The whole thing could have exploded. It could have caused damage to other people. It's just bullshit nonsense that she's spewing, that somehow this one incident where some teenagers were driving recklessly and got into a terrible accident somehow is indicative of the whole. It's the same kind of thing that white supremacists use or terrorists use, right? They try to marginalize one incident and then apply that to everybody. It's basically the same principle. She's using the same tactics. Now, I don't know if she has any sympathies towards either of those groups. I'm not suggesting that. But I am saying the tactic here of, there was one bad incident and let me now apply that into an entire group of people is the same folks that do hate crimes and stuff like that. So this, I don't know where her heart is on this, but that's kind of, when I'm reading this, that's what I'm thinking, is that she's the kind of person that would do that. Now, that's my own perception of it. So she goes on to say that and we talked about this already, that Tesla will never catch up, then shareholders are finally catching on. Then she says, so should the government, which reportedly gifts Musk's companies with an estimated $4.9 billion in subsidies. So the thing about the subsidy, and this is actually a big myth that people do not understand, and that apparently Maureen doesn't understand either, is that this is a drop in the bucket of the overall subsidies that go towards big oil and fossil fuel industries. So I don't know if she's an advocate for fossil fuel industries. Maybe she's working with them. She might have an interest or something. Who knows why she is on the side of big oil in this discussion here. But she's clearly ignoring the facts. So here is an actual study by Science Direct. You can go look this up, showing that in 2013, worldwide subsidies were $4.9 trillion. Now, in 2015, they ballooned to $5.3 trillion. In both cases, that is 6.5% of global GDP. Just to sink that in, the entire world's value, every economy, everything that every country in the world produces, 6.5% of that value is going to fossil fuel, the fossil fuel industry as a tax credit, or as a subsidy. So the 4.9 billion that Elon Musk's companies get, and I'm not sure if she's including the actual money that NASA pays SpaceX, which is not a subsidy, that is a customer, business relationship. I don't know where she's getting this, but it's complete nonsense to assume that the government is gifting Elon's companies money. It's just total nonsense. And here's the data to show it. And I'll put links to all this stuff so you guys can look it up and let me know if I'm not understanding this. Then she goes on to say to talk about SpaceX, and this one really, I fell off my chair when I read this. She says that SpaceX, which Musk touts as replacing NASA, definitely not true, and colonizing Mars, has been a literal failure to launch. So many of its rockets have burned up or crashed that Musk, for reasons unknown, has made a blooper reel. Yeah, okay. So my friend Tim Dodd over at Everyday Astronaut helped me look some of this stuff up, and then I got some other data on it. But basically, 56 out of 58 Falcon 9s have been successful. 1 out of 1 Falcon Heavies have been successful, and 2 out of 5 Falcon 1. This is when they were launching out of the island. I think it was called Quadrant, and they were really just figuring it out, getting started. They didn't know what they were doing yet. So And a failure here doesn't mean the rocket blew up. It means that it failed to get the payload to orbit. Now, the one she's citing is the Zuma one, which I believe was the FBI or CIA spy satellite that they basically claim no knowledge of. And they're like, I don't know what happened. And SpaceX is saying, hey, according to everything we have, it's fine. It's good. So there seems to be some kind of mystery surrounding that. But again, she's taking one example of one thing that happened, not even like a good example. She could have used some of the ones from Kwajalein or whatever when that thing actually blew up, and used that. But instead, she's taking one example and trying to apply it to a mass group here. The same tactics we see, hate groups use. So I don't know if again, why she's embracing, their method of spewing fake news, but here it is. Now, just to put some common sense to this, the success rate for the Falcon 9, which is the current model that SpaceX is using, has a 96.5% success rate. The space shuttle, in contrast, had a 98.5% success rate. So very close, and we haven't had that many launches. This is still very early days here. So they also obviously were the first ones to make a reusable rocket. They currently have the largest operational rocket with the Falcon Heavy, which I believe in September, October, they're targeting their next launch of an actual payload, which would be amazing. And the data I have here on the screen for you is showing that Wall Street Journal is forecasting $35 billion in revenue by 2025. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about when she says a literal failure to launch, because SpaceX in pretty much every objective measure is actually doing far better than any of his other companies or efforts. So this is just complete fake news bullshit again. Then, not even to mention, just to put the cherry on top, SpaceX just did its largest commercial satellite this past weekend. So again, just complete lies and nonsense from Maureen Callahan in this New York Post article. It's mind blowing, and that's why I feel like I had to do this. Was to really just kind of go through this point by point and let you guys know that anyone that says this kind of nonsense is just lying, and who knows what their motivations are and why they're using the same tactics as hate groups. It really doesn't make any sense. She goes on to talk about Hyperloop and says, as for that Hyperloop, most experts say it's impossible and unnecessary. It gives me pause to think that otherwise intelligent people are buying into this kind of utopian vision. Harvard professor Jose Gomez Ibanez told MIT Technology Review in 2016, they're up against the airlines, and airlines don't need to install hundreds of miles of track. Rocket scientist and aerodynamic engineer Leon Vanstone called the Hyperloop yet another Musk hustle. Okay, so again, let's just bring that kind of nonsense back down to reality. The Boring Company was approved to build a high-speed transit between Chicago and the O'Hare Airport, valued with a contract at $1 billion. So the Boring Company, which is going to be doing the Hyperloop thing or making the tunnels for the Hyperloop, it's all part of the same thing, really, is a legit company that will have public testing coming up soon up in Los Angeles with people's feedback on how this all works. And they actually have a $1 billion contract from the city of Chicago, or whoever it is, the Chicago Transport Authority or whoever. And not to mention it, but there was actually a Hyperloop competition in Hawthorne this past weekend, actually just yesterday and Sunday. And you can see that the team that won, I think they won last year as well, or 2016. They got a peak speed of 290 miles per hour in, I believe it's like a quarter-mile tunnel. So again, Maureen Callahan spewing lies and nonsense, not based in reality or fact whatsoever. Then she goes on to say that on a conference call with analysts in May, Musk dismissed questions about Tesla's diminishing capital and other dubious claims with name-calling, where he said, boring bonehead questions won't be tolerated. And he skipped and he said, let's go to YouTube. So the thing about that that I actually love was that the question that the guy was asking was already answered in the letter, the update letter that came out earlier. So he was just kind of, I don't know why he was asking again, but from what I understand, Elon tweeting out that they were short sellers that were just trying to get any kind of offhand comment from him, not really looking for information, but trying to basically do malicious things against them. Then when they go to YouTube, it was about a 20-minute segment from my friend Galileo Russell of Hyperchange TV, who did a fantastic job at just going off question and question and question about what's going on with the products, about what's going on with other investment plans. And that was objectively far more interesting than the other nonsense that was already answered in the update letter. So yeah, there was another quote here. It said from a former Tesla exec that told the Washington Post, Elon plays by his own rules. Yeah. That's when you're a multi-billionaire that's trying to change the world and do stuff like this. That's what you do. And you don't get to that level without breaking a few eggs. So I don't really see a huge problem with that. Then it gets down to the actual nitty gritty of, I believe, her snowflake-ish a thing that offended her the most. And this I think is probably the most heinous and most inflammatory piece of the lies and nonsense that she was spewing. So first off, she says that Musk attempts to insert himself into the Thai cave rescue shows he has less intelligence and even less humanity than we realized. Snowflake. He finally apologized on Wednesday for his disgusting accusation. Oh my, disgusting, terrible. One offhand comment. Meanwhile, there are other billionaires that have seemingly larger important roles doing real shit that is harming people. But, this is a disgusting accusation. I think it's stupid. Against the hero diver, who also, by the way, I'll get to it in a second, but only after shareholders demanded it and not without accusing the diver of lying, insisting his own efforts weren't PR-driven, but an act of kindness. Imagine that. Now, the alleged rescue diver told Elon, by the way, just to clarify, to stick the sub where it hurts. So there's kind of, open season now. Look, you attack me, I'm going to attack you back. Just because Elon's a billionaire doesn't mean you get to do shit like that, right? Now, he did respond inappropriately, and I agree, and I made a video last week about it. Many of you saw that, and I think a lot of you guys really, really agree with that sentiment, that he definitely needs to live up to a higher standard than the rest of us, and that's what we're holding him to. It may not be fair, but hey, that's where he's at, and that's what's going on. So he did respond inappropriately. I'll give you that. Now, Elon was in contact with the dive team leader the entire time, who told him to continue his efforts. Elon has posted these emails on Twitter. You can go find them. This isn't nonsense. So he didn't just make this up and just keep pushing. And if you recall, they had 3 or 4 different ideas in the beginning, and then they worked up to this one when they got in touch with the folks in Thailand. So by all accounts, he's trying to do something that will help. Right? This isn't like him just making this crap up. He was working with them, and there are emails back and forth between him and the folks there. And he even says, should we continue? And they say, yes, please continue. So I don't know what the rescue diver was talking about, and I don't know what she's so offended about, because if you look at the facts, if he has all account, on all sides, he is totally right to continue doing this. Then, of course, he did apologize. He did show humility. He did come back and say that his actions were inappropriate. So, why are you still upset about it, right? Why is this still a thing? As he says right here, this well-written article suggests my words were spoken in anger after Mr. Unsworth said several untruths and suggested I engage in a sexual act with the mini sub, which I don't see the people all upset about him for that, but fine, which had been built as an act of kindness and according to specifications from the dive team leader, which again, we have emails for. So there you have it, right? Now, all of that could be said, okay, yeah, maybe whatever, Elon, you're still just trying to play a PR thing. Until we find out that the Thai Navy actually may use the sub that he sent them. And so here's a picture of the sub, and here are the folks actually in Thailand. The SpaceX team met with Admiral Apacorn, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name, I apologize, and members of the Thai Navy yesterday in CEI to train them on the mini submarine. The Navy believes it could be helpful and practical in future rescue efforts and will conduct further testing in Bangkok in the near future. So, Maureen, whatever you felt like you were trying to do here, the hate group tactics that you're using, similar to what some of the worst groups in the world do, and your absolute lies and fake news that you're trying to spread, are doing more damage than you probably realize. So I hope you'll consider taking the article down, maybe issuing an apology to Elon. I think that's appropriate. Or perhaps you could talk more about the facts and why you were wrong on so many points in your article. And me and all the other folks that really support Elon and his companies and what they're doing, because they are trying to change the world for the better, really would appreciate that. So I look forward to hearing, to seeing an apology from you, because I think it's warranted at this point. Elon won't come after and sue you for fake news because it's not appropriate, but I think it borderlines on that. So consider that, please. Okay. All right, now we're going to get into something a bit better, and some more positive news. And thank you guys for sticking with me on that. We had to just get through that because that really killed me when I saw that, because it was just such full of lies. There are things you can be upset about Elon with, but that is completely not one of them. And this next piece actually comes to us from Wonder Capital. And let me talk about them for a second. Wonder Capital is an investment platform that allows you to invest in solar projects and earn a return. You help small businesses go solar by financing an actual solar project, because typical banks don't really understand how to finance these things. And so that's where Wonder comes in, and they have a huge portfolio and tons of projects in the works. So if you're an investor and you want to diversify your portfolio, help these small businesses, and earn up to 7.5% annually, you can do so by going to teslanomics.co/wonder and sign up there, learn more, ask questions. If you have any questions about this, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, and I'll do my best to guide you in the right direction. I really thank them for supporting the show, and I have no qualms about sharing this with you guys, because I totally believe in what they're doing. I know the CEO, and he's a fantastic guy, and everything that those guys are doing, I just couldn't be more thrilled about, because really that's the premise behind this channel, is to help us switch over to more sustainable forms of transportation, as well as energy. And so these guys are literally deploying thousands and thousands of megawatts of solar all across the world. So check them out, learn more at teslanomics.co/wonder, and I hope that helps you guys, because I think it's pretty awesome. Now, the story related to this is about Tesla, is about a recent interview that CTO JB Straubel for Tesla said recently in the USA Today. And he made a comment that he said, no one should see us stepping back from solar. In fact, it's the opposite. It's like with the Model 3. People have come flooding in and are waiting on the product. So now we're aggressively ramping capacity. That's a really great statement, because a lot of you with solar, or potentially waiting on solar, probably have been waiting a while. Now, since 2015, they've installed over 1 gigawatt hour of energy. And now they're hoping to install another gigawatt hour this year alone. So that is a huge increase there. Now, they also need to get production going in Gigafactory 2, which is the one in Buffalo. Apparently, as I understand, there were some issues there and things have been going slow. And so they're coming back online and really trying to get that going. Now, I believe a lot of this is my assumption, is that it's related to the Model 3 production. So now the Model 3 production is going well and stabilizing and is at a high level. I think, some of those resources are going to be reallocated to some of the other areas that they maybe were pulled from to make the Model 3 a success. But now that the Model 3 is a great success, these things can kind of level out. So couple pieces here that I want to talk about. One is from Green Tech Media, who are fantastic in this space. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but Tesla did talk with them very recently about all this stuff, and they were saying that Tesla is facing blowback after numerous reports of delayed solar and energy storage installations. Some people receiving calls of saying all shipments of Powerwalls have been halted indefinitely. Now, there is a Tesla Motors Club page dedicated to this as well. And let me show you that here. And so this Tesla Motors Club page is the Powerwall 2 supply issues. Now, personally, I am having this very similar issue. I earned a Powerwall from the referral program in March of 2017, and I was recently informed that I won't be getting anything until early next year. That's putting it at almost 2 years. But later I learned that apparently the Founder Series Powerwalls, which are the ones I'm getting, come through kind of a different production track. And so, you know, the current line is that you won't have to wait that long, but people have been waiting a long time for these things. Now, Tesla did respond to Green Tech Media about this article, and they said that these Tesla responded to GTM regarding these press reports and user forum claims. A company spokesperson said that the Powerwall deliveries continue globally for orders already placed, and that new orders placed this month will be delivered at the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2019. Upon Powerwall production ramping at the Reno Gigafactory in 2019, the goal is for retail deliveries and installations to happen within 1 month. The company added that solar roof production is also ramping at Tesla's Buffalo, New York factory. As for PV, so those are solar panels, photovoltaic panels, the company remains bullish on traditional solar for both commercial and residential rooftops and claims a 4 to 6 week span from the sale to install. Tesla had a 16% market share for residential solar in 2017, way down from its 33% share in 2015, according to Wood Mackenzie Research. Now, GTM here says that these don't line up, that these timelines and things don't exactly line up. So I'm going to read you what they say about it. They say, there's plenty of innovation in the Tesla way, but there's also a lot of hype, noise, and distraction. There's a clear tendency to radically overpromise and underdeliver, and there's a cavalier attitude towards one's own customers, employees, and stockholders. We've all seen these qualities. In the almost 3.5 years since Tesla introduced the storage line and the Powerwall. The mission-centric Tesla way brought boring batteries into the hype cycle and the public consciousness, and inspired an enormous cohort of competitors and entrepreneurs to focus their lives on energy storage industry. Now, Tesla needs to manufacture and deliver on the vision that its CEO created. So I agree. It's unacceptable where it's at currently. I believe that a lot of this was just driven by the shift over to the Model 3 production. I think that that's really where all of this comes from. But, you know, it's going to take a while still, and hopefully next year we'll be considering this a different thing, right? By then, hopefully the Model 3 is up 6, maybe 7,000 cars produced per week, that you can get one of those in maybe a few months. Hopefully we'll start to see them in Europe being delivered, all of those kind of things. And then, you know, when you order a Powerwall, you can just get it right away. Because I do think that there's a really interesting application, even if you don't have solar. So once you go electric, you're going to want solar. It makes a whole lot of sense financially. Even in a place like San Diego, where yes, we're very sunshine rich, but we don't actually need a lot of energy to power our homes and our air conditioners and things because the weather is so temperate here. So a lot of homes don't have air conditioning, right? And a lot of them have gas heaters. So it's one of those things where, you know, even though you'd think, oh, San Diego, it's sunny, yeah, solar, it's not 100% slam dunk. Once you get your electric vehicle, whether it be a Tesla or another one, yes, it definitely becomes much more of a slam dunk. And so I think, you know, this is all good stuff. And for the future of the company, I really think this is critical, because this is how we're going to start to talk about Tesla as an energy company on the likes of like Shell and Exxon and these guys versus just a car manufacturer. I really think this is the future of the company, and the cars will be great, but I also could even see the cars being spun off into a different company, or this becoming its own brand or something like that. So anyways, curious what you guys think about that. If you've been waiting on a Powerwall, let me know. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Teslanomics Co. Because I've been waiting on mine, and it looks like we're gonna have to keep waiting, even though they'll be coming soon. Okay. Next, I want to talk about the this other article, which I don't know if I'm going to call this fake news or what. But these guys actually talked to me. Let me just pull it up real quick. So these guys, Jordan, am I quoted in here? I didn't even check. Nope. Okay, good. Because these guys reached out to me a while ago and they said, hey, what do you think about everyone canceling their Model 3 orders? And I said, what are you talking about? And they said, oh, we just heard a couple people say that, so we're going to write an article about it. So, okay, whatever. But the bullet points on this are Needham & Co. analyst Rajvindra Gill says 24% of Model 3 owners have been canceled. Model 3 orders have been canceled. I'm not sure where they're getting that from. Tesla refutes the claim. And the latest reservation count as of the end of Q2 was 420,000 outstanding reservations, which is quite a lot. If you think about it, 420,000 divided by 5, which would be how many are being produced currently a week, gives you 84 weeks. So that's, a couple years almost. And so, yeah, okay. So if this was true, which it doesn't appear that it is true, I don't know where they came up with this stuff. I mean, we've heard this kind of baseless claim before where they say, oh, we have some market research, but they won't share the data. So we don't actually know. I think it's good because Tesla is now accelerating the Model 3 delivery timelines on new orders. So if it is true, and I don't know that it actually is, it looks like, it could help you get your Model 3 sooner, get your tax credit sooner, all that kind of stuff. And you can kind of see here, Tesla updated this. I think they have a graphic here. Yeah, this is from the Tesla website, where you can see that the performance dual motor, which I'm close to buying. I'm not there yet, is 1 to 3 months. The long-range dual motor is 2 to 4 months, and the long-range rear wheel is 1 to 3 months. So, I mean, if this is true, that people are canceling, this is a good thing because that means that you're gonna be getting it much sooner than you probably would have otherwise. Also, folks in Europe, you guys should be getting it very soon, because hey, you can start doing that if they get through these. I think this is again just. They're reaching. The media here was very much reaching for something to try to try to like hurt their stock for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know, but there's that. Then I thought, okay, let's revisit that spreadsheet that we did a little while ago. There's this Model 3 invite spreadsheet that people use online, and I updated that those charts I built so you can see the average wait times. So the average config delay, it shows 1 now, but really you can go order a new Model 3 right now without any configuration wait or anything. And then the average VIN wait is 7 days, and then the average delivery wait is 14 days. So yeah, I mean, things are moving along. And I know, I get a lot of comments about this. It's very funny because people say, oh, my thing says 4 months still until I get it. And then 2 days later, you get a call from Tesla and say, hey, your car's ready. So just hang tight if you have one and the date on the website is like months out. What I'm seeing in the data is that a lot of people are getting them much, much sooner than that. So, all the data and all these things are pointing to basically being a good thing. If this is true, that means you can just get your car sooner and better. And yeah. And then, there's also this, which I saw on Electrek where they were talking about Tesla stocking thousands of Model 3s in parking lots and people are freaking out about it. And so, yeah, there you have it. July 19th, not too long ago, just a few days ago, you can see they're just, these things are ready to go. And that's because I think they really want to maximize this tax credit. But then, Elon went online to say, I don't know where this BS is coming from. Who knows about the future? But last week we had over 2,000 S and X and 5,000 Model 3 new net orders. So I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I don't know where people make this stuff up, and it kind of freaks me out that major news agencies report stuff without sources, without information that's public, without things that we can actually verify. They just kind of make shit up and go with it. It drives me nuts. I don't understand how that's possible. I mean, I get the whole fake news thing. Like that's for real. It's coming to life right here in front of us. It's wild. So yeah. Anyways, if you are waiting for your Model 3, I hope you guys get it soon. Let me know. I do have some recommendations for you. I have other videos on that, and I'm going to be doing more and more stuff on that because I really want to make sure that this transition goes smoothly for everybody, that this is your first electric car. Because, I mean, obviously the car is going to be fantastic, but it's going to be even better in terms of once you get in, if you have a little bit of kind of a soft landing, so to speak. All right. Now, this next story is, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm a little jealous on one hand, but I'm also super excited on the other hand. And that is that we are now getting our very first ever reviews of the performance Tesla Model 3. So here on Inside EVs, they summarized it for us because Wall Street Journal makes you pay instead of showing ads like everyone else. I don't know. But you have the Wall Street Journal did a post on it. They one of their reviewers was able to drive it, and I'll just give you the quotes. And I forget who the guy is, but he's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, I believe, Dan Neal, and he's a pretty tough automotive guy from everything I understand about him. Here were his comments after being able to drive the new Performance Model 3. He said, magnificent, a little rainbow farting spaceship, so obviously representative of the next step in the history of autos. That's high praise, but he also noted that it exits corners faster than a BMW M4, outpunches a Porsche Boxster, and outclouds a Rolls-Royce. Not sure what that part is. The things he didn't like were the 15-inch screen in the middle. He said it's the broken flower pot on Mona Lisa's head. I kind of like this guy. He just seems like a real animated character. Then he said the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, the PS4S as we call them, aren't as grippy as he'd like. I don't know what he's talking about. To my knowledge, they are the best, most grippiest tires you can buy that aren't, specialty race tires or something. So I don't know what the heck he's talking about there, or how that's even a criticism on Tesla. I mean, anyways, sorry. The A-pillar, that no doubt has something to do with its rollover crash performance, is too thick for his apex hunting preferences. So that's kind of the pillar that's in front there. And I agree, it is a bit thick and kind of makes it difficult to see around it sometimes. He said the panel gaps are straight and consistent, and he calls Fremont, the Fremont factory, the Kobe beef of lean production. So great. That's great news. Tesla Model 3 Performance Edition. Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD as you know him, did an Instagram TV video on it. I assume we'll maybe be seeing something on YouTube soon. I can't wait for that. Because I love how he does this. One of the things in his review that he brought up was track mode. So there's an additional mode in the car, and I think they said they're going to change the name of that. But anyways, go check out MKBHD on Instagram, and you can see his show on IGTV. Now, I actually went to the mall this past weekend, and I got to see one in person, and I snapped some photos. They didn't give me a test ride, and the guy there was actually really awkward and weird about it. But here you go. So here's the car. Now they have two of them. This is in San Diego, UTC Mall. This one first is it's the red with the white interior. You can see the 20-inch wheels, and there's the red brake calipers. Kind of a closer look. Those are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Those are the same tires I have. They're fantastic. There's the carbon fiber spoiler, which I definitely like and think is pretty cool. Kind of an interior shot. The dual motor badging. I believe this is the performance one though, because it has the has the red brake calipers. Just another shot of the front there. And I did a little video here. Once it loads, you can see. One of the things I was curious about was the gap in there, and you can see I put my hand up to it. It's a giant gap. I mean, you could drive a Tesla semi through that thing. The white interior I'm not a fan of. Don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't know why people do. But hey, if that's your thing, good for you. And I just got the VIN there at the end. So yeah, I'm super excited to give one of these a go. I can't wait to actually drive it in person. That may lead to me buying one, which my wife would be not very thrilled about. But how about this? If you guys want me to buy one of these and do some videos on it, share this video with me on Twitter. Tag me in it and say, Jenny, yes, let Ben buy a Performance Model 3. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So thank you in advance for your support on that. Okay. Next, I want to talk about some crazy stuff that happened last week. So, if you guys didn't see my video, I think it was on Tuesday. I posted it. Yes, I'm getting a second Tesla Roadster. Currently, officially have 112 referrals. I needed 105. So, I mean, the process, and if you guys have used my code, I mean, just thank you, like a million times over. Not only because, the cool prizes I get and stuff like that, but also because of what it shows. Look at this. We're almost at 600,000 pounds of CO2 saved because of your efforts. So, I mean, everyone that's involved here, anyone that watches this video, shares this video, likes this video, subscribes, all that stuff counts, and it all builds up. And of course, I email back and forth with every single person that uses my code. So if you used it and you haven't got an email from me, just shoot me a note on Twitter or something, direct message, whatever. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, I also just love to see a picture and know what options you chose. Been a lot of people choosing Model X's lately, so it's kind of interesting. So I don't know what to do with the second one. I did hear that I may have to pay income tax on each one of them. And so at $250K, depending on when I get them and what the tax law is at the time, who even knows? Maybe we'll have a new president and things will change again. But currently, it looks like that the tax on each car would be around $95,000. So that's a lot, more than I'm probably willing to spend. But what I could do is sell one of them and then pay for the tax on the rest, and then I don't know, maybe donate the money to charity or something else. I know people say like raffle one off or something. Maybe we could do something like that, but we'll see. I definitely want to keep one of them. I owe my wife a road trip in it, so we're gonna go on a fun road trip. Obviously shoot all kinds of videos and do fun stuff like that. And I want to take it around. I want to show it to people and have them really experience the whole idea of this gas car. Really actually defeating. This electric car. Taking the crown from all the gas cars out there and defeating them in every category. I don't know if it will. I think it will in the majority, but I'm not sure if it will in all of them. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think I should do with it, how we should figure that out, because I'm honestly all ears. All right. Next story I want to talk about is pretty cool. There's kind of two angles to it. So I'm going to start by talking about some data, and then I'll some bigger stuff, and then I'll bring it local for you. So I was doing some research on the Supercharger Network, and I found this website, supercharge.info, which has a ton of great details and everything about superchargers. I think it's all around the world, like permits, what's under construction, what's open, etc. These guys do a pretty cool job. They have all kinds of stuff there, and they have an API. So I was able to pull in the data from this and do some analysis to figure out how is the Supercharger network going. And so that's what I did here. So you can see here I have essentially the Supercharger network growth, and this is number of stalls by quarter. Now, just to be clear, this is not the official number from Tesla. They do have an API with all of them, but they don't have the data opened. So I'm using this data, even though it's not complete, to forecast some things, because it should be good enough. So that was the first thing I thought. Okay, let's look at how many stalls there are just worldwide, or the growth. And you can see there's a huge growth in Q4 of last year. So then I thought, okay, let's take a look at that, but let's do it now with a trend, and let's see exactly what's going on in terms of what is the overall trend here. And when this pulls up, I will show it to you. Problem is I pull these up in advance, and then they kind of time out, and then so I have to refresh them here. So obviously the trend, if you look, pretty much directly upward. The R squared, 0.58, it's not bad. But yeah, the p-value is not great on this. So anyways, the trend is going up. We like that. Then I did a forecast, and here's where it's actually really cool. I really love this chart because you can see that basically the trend of what's going on. And then also there's the forecasted trend. So as of, and let me select some of these here. As of Q1 of 2018, it looks like total they're at 9,446 stalls. And then if we were to include the rest, the next round of that, we would be towards 8,700 stalls. So that's by the end of 2019. Essentially, the overall network will likely double. So that's great news. I mean, this thing is just, and it makes sense because, with more people getting them, and more people getting their cars, I mean, thousands and thousands more getting them, you're going to need more. So then I wanted to see about kind of regional growth. Where is the actual growth happening? So this chart here, what it shows you is essentially a dot for every supercharger, and then the color, the darker the color means the more recent it was opened. So you can kind of see the darker patches being ones where where it's kind of hotter activity. And then so if you go down to like let's say San Diego, you can see we got nothing. Is there a Southern California one? Now let's just do Los Angeles. You can see Los Angeles. So, in this map, you can kind of zoom around. Now, I think this one only has actual U.S. data, but the website has worldwide data, so I can update it to include that. So you can kind of see all the new superchargers going on. Huntington Beach was opened fairly recently, and all these other ones here. So some of the older ones, Burbank, Glendale, I think San Bernardino, Fontana. Yeah. So, anyways, this is just a cool little thing I built, to show kind of where the supercharger growth is. Then I wanted to actually map that out, because a map that actually doesn't tell you a full story. This whole concept of how maps work, the actual geographic plotting of things isn't really often what you want. You want to just break it down like in a simple bar chart. So here you go. So you can see, basically over the past year, which cities have actually got the most stalls. So you can see Thousand Oaks got 44 new stalls, Baker got 40, Kettleman City got 40, if you guys remember that big one they opened. I think that's the one with the cafe as well. And so, yeah, so this was all really cool stuff, and I really enjoyed putting this together. I'll put a link to this if you guys want to kind of explore that. And then the reason I kind of did it was because I wanted to see, what's going on with San Diego. And lo and behold, there are no new stalls or stations in San Diego. That is until this past Friday. So this past Friday, in downtown San Diego, they had an unveiling for the latest supercharger here in the southern or in San Diego region. It's actually only the second one. It has 16 stalls. And I went to the event and I was able to record the Tesla rep talking about it. So here is the Tesla rep at the San Diego Supercharger unveiling this last Friday, sharing some details and insights into kind of what's going on. And I think this is pretty fun. So let me switch over or cue up that video now.
Oh, you're too much. Sorry, I'm coming in hot. Yes, my name is Nathan Anderson, and I'm the regional manager for charging infrastructure for California. California is actually our largest market for Tesla and our most important for superchargers. So this is a huge, huge investment for us and a lot to be celebrated. Not only is this our latest supercharger, but this puts us just over the 1,000 mark for superchargers throughout all of California. And as Christine just shared, our first urban supercharger in San Diego. This project would not have been possible without the support of many critical stakeholders, including Christine, Mark, and Jennifer from MS, Chris Ward, who's supporting electrification and sustainability. Councilmember, thank you so much for being here. I know Betsy, I think you're here from the downtown San Diego, no, there you are, nice to meet you. Downtown San Diego project. Our partners with SDG&E for helping us turn on the energy. So Todd and Corey, thank you so much for your partnership and for your continued partnership. And then a huge shout out to the rest of the team. It takes a village to build these, and over the course of time, we've really ramped up our staffing to ensure that we are building the infrastructure that our current and our future customers deserve. And so, big shout out to them. So, with that, Tesla's mission, we are dedicated to accelerating the world's future to sustainable energy, and that's through electrification of our transportation system. So it's extremely important so that our customers can charge easily, and this supercharger station is an example of that. For many customers, I mean, the easiest and the fastest and the most convenient way to charge is actually at home. Plug your car in overnight, but you have to complement that with these stations, which we have built many along great highways throughout the entire country and a lot throughout California, and we're now complementing that with our urban strategy. And this is an example of our first in the greater San Diego market. So, as part of our obligation to our customers, we're trying to build these of where they're going and make sure that they have the greatest experience possible. So we're putting urban stations where people are going, so near shopping centers, near supermarkets, near downtown locations. And we want to make sure that it coincides with their life, so that it's built in, and owning an EV is as easy as owning any other car, if not better. And on top of that, when they charge, whether it's at this urban station or any of our kind of A to B routes, it'll be the same price and far cheaper than gasoline and zero emissions. So if you can see we have a new post design for our urban models. So they're smaller, they're ideal for dense, congested areas, and they can serve, well, a high volume of cars, and they deliver consistent 72 kilowatt of dedicated power to each car. So for those Tesla owners that are aware of our 120 kilowatt model, that has to power share. This is dedicated power, and so it's consistently delivering, getting you on the road in an average of 30 to 45 minutes, and still delivering around 300 miles an hour of charging. So you're gonna fill up quick, but you're gonna have a really good experience. So we want to continue to expand our network and provide our owners and future owners the experience that they deserve. We're making a huge investment in San Diego. We have over 300 employees that are part of the Tesla family that live in San Diego. We also have our store over at Fashion Valley, and to complement this station, we have one other station, and we have, well, some really big plans. We have, in the next 12 months, to meet the demand, we are going to be opening 10 more stations and about 150 more supercharger stalls in the greater San Diego area. So, yeah. So you'll see us in Carlsbad, and Del Mar, Escondido, Vista, and many, many others in and around San Diego. Because San Diego is actually our 5th highest concentration of Model 3 reservations in the entire country. So we are stepping up. We are really investing in this area. We've started with building the team. It's led to building the sites, and you got at least 10 more coming in the next year. So we're here for you. We're dedicated to you, and we really, really appreciate your support, and thank you for being with us along this ride. So it's the most exciting time to be an EV owner, especially a Tesla owner. We really, really appreciate your partnership. So thank you very much. Christine?
Okay, so that was cool. Thank you, Nathan and team. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. I can't wait. Just to recap, if you guys missed any of those bits, in San Diego, the region of San Diego, we're going to have 10 new sites and 150 stalls. So maybe that's around 15 each. That's all within the next 12 months. And this new charger here is 16 of the urban stalls. And so that effectively more than doubled what we had previously had in San Diego. These are the 72 kilowatt speeds, not the 120, but as they say, a dedicated 72. So it should be, more consistent. It's not a shared. And that San Diego is the 5th largest city with the most Model 3 reservations, and that they have 300 employees in San Diego. So San Diego's a Tesla town, man. I mean, you probably have San Francisco number 1, LA number 2, and probably San Diego number 3 overall. So yeah, all good stuff. I can't wait to have these just kind of everywhere, because for a lot of folks, this is kind of a necessary way to charge. All right. Now let's get over to our last story, and then we'll jump over to Q&A. And this is about Tesla Service. So Tesla Service is getting better. They are implementing a new series of initiatives to improve its service as the fleet grows rapidly. So they made a statement here, and specifically part of this article talks about Norway, but I'm just going to talk about their overall thing. Tesla responded to Electrek and said, our global customer satisfaction scores for service are above 90% and at a high of 97% for our mobile service program, which lets us service vehicles in customers' driveways or at their offices. Even in North America, where our customer base has grown by 75% over the last year, customer satisfaction for service has remained consistently above 90%. Tesla has also topped Consumer Reports' customer satisfaction survey 2 years in a row, with 90% of Tesla owners saying they would buy the same car again, more than any other brand. While we're incredibly proud of our customer support and service we offer, we're always working to improve. Here are some of the programs underway to make sure all Tesla customers have an even more exceptional experience. Last quarter, we opened a new parts distribution center in California, which has tripled our fulfillment capacity for parts in North America and is helping to expedite the supply of parts to third-party body shops. We're in the process of opening a similar fulfillment center in Europe, which we expect to have the same impact. For the first time, we're trialing a small network of our own body repair shops in select markets to accommodate light repairs, with the opportunity to expand the program based on customer feedback and results. Given the overwhelming success of our mobile service program, we are expanding the program from 25% coverage globally to 40% coverage globally by the end of the year. While our call volumes have increased dramatically due to the overwhelming excitement around the Model 3, this hasn't impacted our ability to respond to emergency roadside events. We have plans in place to hire additional staff to support centers in the event that they are unable to find their answer on the tesla.com/support or in their Tesla account. We are aggressively hiring and expanding in markets where our customer satisfaction scores for service are below average. In Norway, for instance, we have already grown our service team by 30% compared to last year, and we're in the process of opening a large service center in Oslo this year. Recent feedback from customers in Norway indicates that the improvements have already made a difference. So, if you are a Tesla owner in Norway, it sounds like things are improving. If you ever have any body repair issues, which Tesla is notoriously bad for, then it sounds like hopefully things are going better there. I am actually in that boat, and I'll let you guys know more as the story progresses. But right now, I'm waiting. I need to go get a quote and deal with some body work, and it's just kind of a nightmare. So hopefully those things all improve, and maybe San Diego is one of those markets where they open that up. So let me know what you guys think. If you had a good, a bad experience, indifferent, whatever with service, shoot me a note on Twitter at Teslanomicsco. All right, guys. So I'm going to head over to some questions now. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with me here. I know this is a long episode, and there was a lot to get to. So first, we're going to go to Patreon. And there's a couple questions here, and then I'll kind of just run through these, and we'll move on to the Crowdcast ones. RC Stan says, apparently Tesla factories take scrap waste seriously. Can you review the vast ecosystem of contractors processing this output? Yes, I can, if and when I get more info. Steven Stover, discussion about Model 3 performance differences from a test drive. Yep, waiting on that. Shamburn asks, hi from Mauritius. It's 11:30 p.m. Being a developing country with about 20% of our energy coming from renewables and a target of 35 by 2025. In the last 6 years, around 20,000 households got solar water heaters. Recently, just got a loan of $10 million to install panels on 10,000 low-income households. With more projects coming, how to get into contact with the right people at Tesla to apply and implementing projects locally. I don't know. On their website, maybe is probably the best place. Yeah. Chambert again, out of the box question. Just wondering, since there are many aircraft carriers sitting unused in many ports, how about Tesla buying one, refurbishing it like a mobile factory on the water. They can move around, but also being an open sea. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea. And I don't think that there are many aircraft carriers sitting around. I actually live in a city where we have probably the largest concentration of them, or one of the largest in the world. And they're definitely not just sitting around. They're in use. Chambern again. I see the Model 3 frunk has a hexagonal shapes in the underside. This design is used by bees. I might be wrong, but there's a concept of, I don't know. If Tesla's using this design, it might mean that the structure would be much tougher and durable, and also even in a crash. Oh, that's interesting. Last question. It would be great if Tesla implements this. Sorry, I'm skipping over those. There's too many questions. Sven asks, does the median person in California earn enough to own a Model 3? Ooh, that's a great question. I actually want to dig into this. Do they now? I think you need about 50,000 plus or more in your wages to take full advantage of the credit. So there you go. And you have 5 more questions in there, so I'm going to skip over those. Israel asks, do you know, based on historical data, how Tesla establishes service centers? We do not have a service center in Puerto Rico, and I wonder what would be required to have one. Yeah, man. It's I don't know what it is, probably by the concentration of where people are. It might be the thing. I hope they get one out there soon. I believe also Hawaii is in the similar boat. I don't know if they have one out there. Waiting up performance delivery confirmation, also very brave Roadster reservation holder. Wow. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Chanan asks, hi, Ben. There have been multiple articles in news in the past month saying some pretty negative things about Tesla and Elon. How much of it do you believe is true? I kind of went over that already. Thanks for that. Yeah, I totally see it as like a fake news thing. Crafty Geek, Supercharger, data crunching question, possibly aided by supercharging APIs. Could you page a dead zone map? Have the user enter the vehicle range informed by their driving habits and display a map showing the areas that range can reach if a driver is relying on supercharger. So I would check out EV Trip Planner, Crafty. I think that would be a good place because I think they do that already. And then also I think it's just tesla.com/trips is also a trip planner, but it doesn't have every car available. So that's kind of the thing. That's what I would go with for that. Okay, hope that helps you guys. Let's switch over to Crowdcast. And if you guys are unfamiliar with what's going on with Crowdcast, this is where I actually do the Q&A. I do it because it's much more engaging. You know, you can upvote questions and things like that. I'm going to close it and just reopen it one time because something that resorts it. And I do limit this because otherwise it just gets out of hand, right? You get too many questions and all that just kind of nonsense. So if you want to be a part of this, go to teslanomics.co/join, get on our email list, and then I'll send you an invite Monday morning. And so there you have it. And also, if you're on Patreon, you can just go there and then ask the questions as you saw. Sorry for skipping over some of those guys, but you know, if you ask 5 or 6 questions in a thing, we don't have time for it. And today we're running a little low. Okay, let's get to the questions from Crowdcast. Leo asks, hi Ben, I can't afford a full ceramic coating. What do you think of Hydrosilex? Is it glorified wax or is it really ceramic coating? Okay, I saw your question earlier and I asked my friend Wes, who owns Elite Finish Detailing here in San Diego, and he was saying that it's a pretty average product. And that there are other products that are cheaper. Also, depending on where you go, if you're in San Diego and you're going to Elite Finish, which you definitely should, they have other services that are cheaper than the thousands of dollars like I spent on ceramic coating. They have something called an exterior rejuvenation and an exterior enhancement. So they also have he has a couple things here. Reload and Clutch are spray sealants that have the same raw materials as a coating, but thinner and doesn't form a permanent bond. They typically last a few months, so that's probably what would happen here. Cherry is a cream sealant that can be worked in by hand or machine applied and is thicker than the spray sealants. This usually lasts 6 to 12 months for protection. So I think there are a lot of options out there for you. Go check out those ones I mentioned. Also, if you go to elitefinishdetailing.com/services, you can kind of see on their website. They have good instructional videos and more info about these types of products. Hope that helps you, Leo. Next, I have a question from Derek. Hello, Ben. Just got a Model 3 last Monday. Congratulations. And the wife and I are absolutely loving it. My question today is, do you have any idea what they might be working on for the next update? One of the weaknesses we see currently is the blind spot detection. I heard they are working on it, but didn't know when we might see it or how they might implement it. We are currently on 2018 24.7. Yeah, I don't know. I have heard that as well. I think Elon tweeted about that. So hopefully that is coming. I'm still on like 2018.13. They tried to push an update to mine and it failed. So I have to take my car in and it'll like take a couple days. Crazy. So yeah, you're in a better place than I am with that. I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to just get better and better. It's one of the things I love about these cars. Thanks for the question, Derek, and congratulations. Seth asks, hi, Ben. From your and Jen's review, it sounded like you guys went with a black Model 3 because of the pricing. Yes, she's cheap. So if you could go back and pick any color, regardless of price, what would you go with? Okay, two thoughts. I'd pick red because my son loves it. It's like Lightning McQueen from Cars. If you have a kid, you know what I'm talking about. That would be my first choice. My second choice would be the Obsidian black because I prefer the black. I think it's beautiful. It's a pain in the ass to take care of, but it is gorgeous. So I would go with that. There you go. Hope that helps. Next from Dimitri, maybe. Hey Ben, before unveiling the Model 3, Elon tweeted and then deleted it that either of the Model 3 will have falcon wing doors. Now that the Model 3 is out, that leaves the Model Y to have them. I hope not. Do you think? I hope they do not. That's actually one of the reasons why I don't have a Model X is because I hate the falcon wing doors. So yeah, I really sincerely hope they don't do that. That'd be a disaster, I think. Thanks for the question. Vic asks, I'm planning on getting a Ceramic Pro on my Model 3. My question is, will it hurt anything to install Ceramic Pro Rain on the windshield? You know, I don't know about that one. When I got my car ceramic coated, they did a sealant on the glass as well to help with that. So I don't. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, but talk to your professional because I'm certainly not the best at that. Thanks for the question, Vic, and good luck. Valerie asks, hey, Ben, after doing my Northeast road trip, Kansas City, oh, yeah, you sent me that link. That was really cool. I found that there's a unicorn in St. Charles, Missouri, that supercharger that does not charge for Model 3. Huh. I and others used it multiple times to be sure. My own stops were almost 3 weeks apart. It is the only supercharger I stopped at that did this. Have you heard of anyone of these more unicorns, or is this the one-off? I've not heard of that. That don't charge they don't charge for the Model 3. Like you don't get charged. That's crazy. And it was a supercharger? No. I'm surprised by that. Hey, congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I haven't heard of that. That'd be cool though. Maybe we could find a little website and make those or something. Brian asks, hey Ben, since there is no leasing option for the Model 3, do you have any idea if Tesla plans to do trade-ins in the future for Model 3? If so, do you think the finance cars would need to be fully paid off, or would they possibly accept partially financed trade-in, effectively turning it into a lease? I don't know. That's a good question. I've actually considered doing a trade-in for mine because I kind of want the performance model just to see what they would give me. I wouldn't bank on any of those things, man. I would just consider if you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it. I wish they would lease it because I'd probably go do a lease right now. But yeah, that's kind of where my thinking's at. Thanks for the question, Brian. Bill asks, Ben, I heard that you can't get free internet in the Model 3 if you ordered after July 1st. So if I ordered last week of June, am I safe? Is there a difference between the free internet and the premium internet in the Model 3? Yes, I believe you are safe. And the difference that I'm aware of, and I think Electrek maybe has more details, or the Tesla website has more details. One example was the traffic on the map. So it wouldn't show traffic on the map if you didn't have the premium internet. It would still show you a map, but not that bit. So there's a few little things like that. I'm not quite sure all the details on that. So yeah, you should be able to find that online though. Thanks for the question, Bill. Phil asks, hello, Ben, can you confirm that you can only release the plug and cable from the holster of a supercharger if a Tesla is in immediate vicinity to trigger its release? Seems like I do not believe that I think you can pull it out. I don't think it's actually, it's not actually like plugged in. It's just like a hook. So yeah, no, I think that's false. Ron asks, I live in the South Bay area, Redondo Beach, Torrance. That's South Bay? Maybe we're thinking of different things. To me, South Bay is San Francisco. And I've been watching for new supercharger locations. Still no signs of any activity in construction. Anybody know of any inside info? Yeah, so if you go to the Tesla website with the superchargers, you can see where they are. But they're actually there's one in Redondo Beach already, and I believe there's actually a ton around you. So I don't know, but yeah, if you just go to the Tesla website, you can find they show all the ones currently in construction. Thanks, Ron. Michael asks, hi Ben, ordered place for Model 3 with all-wheel drive. Maybe I'll have it by fall. Been wondering about camper mode in Model 3. Really could use it. Wondering if any word on when, if Tesla will add the functionality. I don't know when or if. Definitely will be added. And if not, the other little trick where you do the parking brake and thing may work. Currently doesn't. I am also looking forward to it. Thanks for the question, Michael, and congrats. Pete asks, hi Ben, do you know if any other EVs have phantom drain? Yes, they do. Also, I would like to see you do a segment on trailer hitches for the Model 3. Yes, I ordered it. I'm doing it. If you or anyone you know is at Torque Lift Central, hit me up. I'm waiting. There's so many things I want to do when I get the trailer hitch in my Model 3. Please send it to me sooner rather than later. I ordered it on July 10th. Still waiting. No word from Torque Lift Central. If you or anyone you know, or even if you don't, just tweet at him. Yo, get Ben his trailer hitch because we want to see him do crazy stuff with it. Thanks for the question, Pete. Bob asks, hi Ben, I've been having some problem initiating the walk-away feature on my Model 3, though thought maybe I downloaded the wrong Tesla app using Tesla Living app. I don't know what the Tesla Living app is. I would just get the actual Tesla app, and that would be the one. Otherwise, when you walk away, you'll need to actually take the card and tap on it in order to lock the car. Thanks for the question, Bob. Somi asks, just follow up about why Tesla doesn't create front-wheel drive. I did some digging around for answers, and it turns out it's physically more efficient to push the car from the back wheels. Correct. Also, unlike the ICE car, Teslas are not front-heavy, which make front-wheel drive less effective. Hope this helps. Yes, totally. You're correct. The one challenge, I believe, is that it makes, obviously, driving in snow not as good, and then I believe also regenerative braking isn't as good as a result. So, yeah, different kind of stuff on that. Thanks for the comment. Leo asks, I finally got my Model 3 after several delays in rescheduling. How did you get your kid to sleep in the car? After my 5-year-old daughter finishes her soccer class. Normally, the vibration of the car and the white noise from the motor push put her to sleep. This week, she just stayed wide awake after a 30-minute drive. Yeah, sometimes it takes a long time. My son, I mean, he's only ever been in Tesla, so he doesn't know anything else. But, for me, I'll put on his little lullabies that he likes. He's only 3, so he's still kind of, just a little guy. So anyways, yeah, I do that, and I kind of drive around, and he likes it. Yeah, maybe go on a bumpy road. Maybe that'll help. Thanks for the question / comment, Leo. Erasmus asks, hi, Ben, could you make an episode or a live stream going into the evolution of Tesla? Maybe. Yeah, thanks. Melissa asks, hi, Ben, amazing channel. Been watching you for nearly a year now. I made my reservation for Model 3 in August of 2017, and I got my configuration almost a month ago. I live in California. Do you have any idea when I should be receiving my VIN number delivery? You may not get the VIN number until after you get a call from the rep. 7 to 14 days is kind of the waiting period that I'm seeing online, so hopefully you get it soon. If not, go on the website, look on there, maybe call somebody. You can kind of just, poke and prod and find out, but it should be soon. Thanks for the question, and congrats. Riley asks, hey, Ben, now that you're getting 2 Tesla Roadsters, are you planning to customize each one differently? Specs, SpaceX package, or just get 2 really sick cars? I don't think I'm going to keep 2. I don't think anyone needs 2 of these. But and mostly because I want to sell one and probably pay the taxes on both of them because it's going to be a stupid amount. Think about $190,000 in taxes. Granted, and getting the value of these things is like $500,000, so it's a good bet. But the government's going to get their bit for sure. So I'm definitely not going to get the SpaceX options package. That's just insane to me. I'm afraid of that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to make a ton of videos with it once I get it. Thanks for watching. John Ellis asks, what's your thoughts on the whole cashback BS? I don't know what this is. There's something about Tesla asking for refunds on parts that weren't delivered or something. I forget what it is, but yeah, they're trying to make profitable, and so it sounded like sounded again like the media was taking something, blowing it out of proportion, using not adding context. I don't know. We'll see once the earnings call happens. Which, by the way, I am doing a live stream, so come back and join me on August 1st, which I believe is next week, where we'll actually watch or listen in on the earnings call live. Had some commentary and questions and stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thanks, John. Tony asks, is there a room in Nevada to add vehicle development to the current factory? This would be in line with his vision that battery and car production would be in all gigafactories. I certainly believe so. I don't know if they actually plan on doing that, but I would not be surprised if they came out and said that. Carrie asks, do we know approximately what percentage of Model 3 reservation holders want long range versus the $35,000 base model? Yeah, I did actually a video on this a while ago because I had some survey data. It wasn't, it's not actually people putting in the order, but it's as good as we got right now. And I think it was something like 30% of people wanted the base model, so it wasn't a huge percentage. So yeah, but I could be wrong. I could be misquoting that. Go back and search on the channel, and if not, let me know on Twitter, and I'll probably do another one because I have even more survey data now. So thanks, Carrie. Thanks for the question. All right, no more votes. Cool. Woo, today was a long one. Thank you, everyone, yet again for joining me. I really love doing these, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Stay tuned later in the week for more fun stuff coming out of the channel. And if you have any questions or comments or anything, please just hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Teslanomics Co. All right, until then, don't forget, when you free the data, your mind will follow. I'll see you guys back here next time. Cheers.